And before I start, I just want to introduce Dr. Anke de Beer to everyone. We are so excited, Anke, to have you on board this morning. We really are. We've heard so much from Kenneth about you, and we've seen you on TV even and all over the show. So it's going to be very interesting to see your talk this morning. So I'm going to give you an introduction. Dr. Anke de Beer is a respected speaker, researcher, consultant. She's an author on pressing issues of technology and its devastating effects on mankind. She uses her extensive academic knowledge and experience in the counseling room to help people understand and guide them through the use of the digital media. She has worked with school organizations, churches, and law enforcement, and has done her second PhD in interdisciplinary studies. She was appointed as an associate professor of Christian counseling in 2024. Anke also runs a private counseling practice and counsels parents, leaders, pastors, teachers, and young people countrywide while continuing her research and writing. Digital addiction is her passion and focus of her research and ministry. So, Anke, we just want to say welcome here this morning. We are super chuffed to have you here, and we hand the floor over to you.
You. Good morning, everyone. So I just want to give the honor just right back. Obviously, it's my honor to be here on the platform. It's my honor just to share what God have been teaching me over the last couple of years. I see a lot of what I'm going to teach you this morning on in not just in the academic books, but obviously also in the counseling room. So this is a lot. I know it's a lot of information. Digital addiction is as vast as the ocean, and there is a lot of facets that just like plugs into to digital addiction. So I luckily I have a lot of time, so maybe we can say after an hour we can take a 5 minutes bathroom break or something. But yes, it is a lot of information, and I'm grateful that this is recorded. So I also just want to give each and every one, also for GraceOnline, I want to give you the permission to share this information. My heart is that this message must go out as far and as wide as possible. And yes, this morning you might feel overwhelmed about what I'm going to share, because I'm gonna share the brutal truths. So also I just want to say in advance that I'm gonna show some graphic content a little bit later in the PowerPoint presentation, especially on Roblox. So not a lot of parents understand why Roblox is a dangerous platform for children, so that you can just see what your children can be exposed to. But I will give a heads up right before. So if you want to switch off your screen, or if you want to turn away, like I said, I will give heads up for graphic content. I don't want to trigger anyone on this platform, but really just for you. So I'm going to show it for 2 seconds and then I'm going to take it away. Like I said, just that you can have a slight idea of what the children is exposed to. So yeah, I just want to then start by sharing my screen. So all right, so let me just go one back. So, trap in the web, the invisible grip of digital addiction on learners and educators. But yeah, so I am going to talk a lot, obviously, about children, say a lot about children, and why children are different as a whole generation. But obviously, this information is not just for the child. So it is actually for each and every one here this morning, for you also to check yourself. If you have to and you're unsure, maybe pick up your device, go to your digital well-being under your settings and go and check, what is your own screen time? What is distracting you? What is robbing you of time with your family, sleep time, time with the Lord? So, yeah, I am. I always say I am an equal opportunity offender. So my heart is obviously not to offend anyone, but I really want also for you to go and test your heart. And if I do offend, maybe go and check why. Why is this what I'm saying irritating you? I want to irritate you not because I wanna make this hard, but this is really, really, really ruining lives, and it's so easy sometimes, and scripture also say, it's so easy for us to go and look into someone else's eye, go and see what someone else is doing, but in the meantime, it is something in my own life. My grandmother always said, she said you have to sweep before your own door before you go and sweep before someone else's door. So yes, let's sweep this morning a little bit in front of our own doors. So I want to start with this small video clip. Maybe someone will recognize this. And this is quite funny because when I speak to crowds, you can see the older generation smiling, and then you can see the confused faces of our children. They have no idea, obviously, what the sound is. So the reason why is obviously just to show you that something is happening to a generation. So this is my second part of the agenda, what is happening to the generation, the rewiring of the brain, the effects of social media, the fundamental dangers, and then obviously the solution. So yeah, so like I said, with regards to where we used to be, where we used to spend our time, and where we are today have changed profoundly. And this is also just a small video clip to show you where we used to spend our time and what are we spending our time on today. All right, so there you can just see that currently they reckon that we are spending about 60% of our time online, where in South Africa the statistics does actually look a little bit worse. So they did research with 35 countries nationwide to see where South Africa is, and we are currently, according to research, number one. We are the most internet addicted country in the world. They reckon we have about 10 hours, 46 minutes of screen time a day, that our average teenager spent about 9 hours a day online. And from that 9 hours, about 5 to 6 hours is just spending on social media. So the average teenager get about 192 notifications a day. So that is about one every 5 minutes. I'm going to talk a little bit about what that constant notifications is doing to the brain. And also then they reckon that the average person touches their phone about 2,500 times a day. And if you are a heavy screen user, you literally just touch your phone almost 5,500 times a day. So generations is quite an important subject for this morning. And So if I have to maybe talk to the baby boomers and the Gen Xers on this platform this morning, and I have to ask each and every one of you, maybe, tell me about childhood. We just came out of a 6 week school holiday, and I have to tell you, listen, school holidays, what did you do during school holidays? What did you do over weekends? Every single one of you will tell me how you played as a child. And not only did you play, you were outside. Most of you, if your mother was similar like my mother, the moment we had our breakfast in the morning and we were dressed and your bed were made, your mom and my mom literally like chucked me out of the house, and she said, go play or get out from under my feet, or I don't want to see you. And that is what we did. We went outside, and yes, we were bored as well, but out of our boredom as children, we became creative. We were inventive. We were curious. We built things, designed things. We got on our bikes. Yes, got on our bikes. We went to the local park, wait there for someone to come, or go and knock on a neighbor's door and ask the child there, do you want to play? And that is literally what we did. So exactly, and that's true. You had basically one rule as a child, and that rule was that when the sun set, your mom wanted you at the dinner table. You better be home, and it's true. If you stayed in the city, your cue that you must get your behind back home is when the street lights came on. And from there, you know, during the day, your mother had no idea where you are, what you did. You were somewhere having a peanut butter sandwich at some parent's house, and that was our childhood. Another very, very interesting fact is that every single generation was more clever than the previous generation, because there's a lot of factors, but obviously because of schools, longer time in schools, better education, better teacher training, better handbooks. So this means that the Gen X generation was more clever than the baby boomers. Also, it means that the millennials were more clever, tested higher on every single facet than the Gen X. But now we came to the Gen Z generation. Now, currently, the Gen Z generation is basically the first generation that we know of that is testing worse on every single facet than the generations before. That is reading skills, learning skills, memory, that is cognitive development, mathematics. So the Gen Z is testing worse on every single level. So also your Gen Z generation currently has also been renamed as the anxious generation. So there's this researcher, his name is Jonathan Haidt. Maybe some of you have seen Jonathan Haidt's videos, and he did some research explaining why the Gen Z generation is the most anxious generation in the history of mankind. They are suffering from anxieties, eating disorders, depression. We see an increase in aggression in boys. So something specifically happened to the Gen Z generation. And then lastly is your Gen Alpha. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Gen Alpha as well. This is your last generation. So it's basically your primary school child and younger. And also the Gen Alpha generation have also been renamed as the iPad kids. And I'm going to show you a little bit, a short video about the iPad kids. And why do they call them the iPad kids? Again, the Gen Alpha generation is the first generation in the history of mankind that was placed in front of a screen as a babysitter. It's the first generation in the history of mankind that do not have a recollection of a life before screens. So for them, screens is like a normal part of their life. And we do see now what is happening to the Gen Alpha generation. So, like I said, the Gen Xers, we played outside, we had a life outside, we were naughty, it's true, but a very, very important thing about play. So your IQ is something that you are born with. You cannot do a lot to increase IQ, but something that you learn is EQ, your emotional intelligence. And the only place where you learn emotional intelligence is actually on the playground. So while playing, you learn how to communicate, how to stand up for yourself, how to resolve conflict, how to share, how to wait your turn, how to be polite. And those skills are the type of skills that you as an adult are using to this day. But this skills is the skills that especially your Gen Z generation is lacking, to the point actually if you have to speak to a big CEO, they will tell you that your Gen Z generation cannot even have a proper interview because they cannot look you in the eye. They are very, very shy, very anxious. They have huge identity problems. And this is just some of the things that we are seeing. So there we go. Millennials, I am like a borderline Gen X millennial. So also for me, I was about in my 20s when I received my first phone. So I also had a childhood playing outside, but as a young adult got my first phone. And I'm wondering, can you remember your first phone? I had like I think a pink Nokia, and yeah, I remember the ringtone. I can remember the keyboard was a 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and a star and a hash, and we texted. So the other day I went and checked that you had to press the number 5 7 times to just type the letter S. But that was our life. We played Snake, and so what we do see with the millennials is that they to this day use technology actually for what it was intended for. They for research, for work, social media, academics, email, personal entertainment. So there is still under some of the millennials an understanding of a life offline. So yes, that is what our search engines look like. I think a lot of you will also maybe remember the first time someone said to you, go and Google something, or did you Google it? And you were like, or someone said something about the World Wide Web, and you were like, what? And this would probably what you have seen if you went on the World Wide Web for the first time. So obviously, yes, we are not there anymore. All right, so then we get to the Gen Z generation. So like I said, they are basically your high school child and your younger adult today. So all these technologies developed when this group of children basically went through their puberty. So we see in the year 2000, high-speed broadband came out for the first time. In 2007, the iPhone came out, social media. 2009, the likes, the retweets, the share button came out. But in 2009 was also the year that that Facebook, that is now Meta, bought over Instagram and later on WhatsApp as well. And this changed the dynamic of a life online, especially for the teenager completely. Where I say they devote a large part of their consciousness to managing what became their online brand, posting carefully curated photographs and videos of their lives. So, all right, so 2010 then is quite a profound year. So, in 2010, the iPhone 4 came out. Now, the iPhone 4 is the first phone in generation of technology that had a front-facing camera. Now in 2009, the retweets, the share, the like buttons came out. Meta bought over Instagram. The front-facing camera came out. So you cannot just imagine what was happening to the average teenager. So instead of having a life out there, maybe taking pictures of things out there, the food pictures, you all can remember the food pictures, but that changed around where it becomes about me. And here we see also like the birth almost of this almost like narcissistic self-obsessed generation, where they reckon that the average teenager can take up to 85 pictures or selfies of themselves, to edit and filter one of them, to post that one image online and start obsessing about what other people will think of them. And that other people mostly will be complete strangers, where we now then see that instead of having a normal life, interacting with each other, making friends, laughing together, it became a life of me, self-obsession. So I say it's the first generation in the history to go through puberty with a portal in their pockets that called them away from people nearby into an alternative universe that was exciting, addictive, and unstable. So the biggest drive then for this generation is to gain acceptance from peers online, and their biggest fear was to avoid online shaming. So they got sucked into spending many hours of each day scrolling. They watched increased quantities of user-generated videos and streamed entertainment fed to them by algorithms that was designed to keep them online as long as possible. So they spend less time playing with, talking to, touching, making eye contact with their friends and families, thereby reducing the participation in social behavior that is essential. Listen, it is essential for successful human development. So then we get the iPad kids, this is sad to say, but this is what most school grounds will look like. This is when you invite friends, or when your child maybe will invite friends to come and visit your child, they will be together, but they will be together on their devices, or they will be together playing a game online together, but there is no interaction, no eye-to-eye contact, no communication, no, nothing. And also, this actually, although they are together, they are actually very, very, very isolated. And this is also why, why I am promoting phone-free schools. I think we will eventually go to a place where the decision for you in which school you will put your child into is to see, listen, is this a phone-free school or not? My personal opinion is that a primary school child does not need a phone. There is no reason why your primary school child have to have a phone or have to take their phones with them to school. There is still an office. There is still a lady in the office that have your personal details, that can phone you when something has happened. There's nothing on your phone that can teach your child anything that they will not learn in any way later in life. So I'm not against technology. I love technology. I use technology. I study technology. I am just saying you have to delay technology for as long as possible. So also this is a long video. I'm not going to show you the whole video, but obviously when we share this PowerPoint, the 15-minute video will be available. But just going to show you quickly what they are saying when they talk about the iPad kids, and this researcher and journalist on this video use the word data quite a lot. And it's quite important, and this is really actually also the only reason why there's two PhD degrees. Because when I did my first one in 2009, it was still a hypothesis in saying, listen, we can see something is happening to children. We can see the emotional dysregulation. We can see that children are committing suicide, but there was no concrete evidence, scientific evidence proving that a child can actually get addicted or a person can get addicted to the screens. And there was no scientific research, neuroscience to prove what is the brain damage. And today, this research is scientifically proven.
Have you ever seen a child react like this?
Hey, no, give me the iPad.
After a phone or tablet was taken away from them?
What? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Because we just investigated this trend.
Mommy, look! Mommy!
Oh, not right now. Mama, bring the iPad back later, okay?
And the results are disturbing. If this reminds you of a kid in your life right now, you definitely cannot skip this video. And the data I'm about to share with you is essential for anyone living in today's time.
He's just always in his own world. He really quiet for real unless he know you.
This is the dark future of iPad kids, also known as the Generation Alpha.
Apparently, this 8th grade kid cannot spell a single word correctly on his list.
We're talking about anyone in your family who is 13 years old or younger right now. Kids who were born at the same time as the iPad in 2010. Kids who at 8 years old already had their first phone. And they're the only humans in the...
All right, so you can get an idea. So what happened? The main thing that happened is that we switched a play-based childhood with a screen-based childhood. So there I say the play-based childhood faded out roughly at about 2010. Remember I said to you in 2010 the iPhone 4 came out, also with algorithms, with edits, filters, social media. The phone-based childhood stormed in with the iPhone, social media, high-speed internet between 2010 and 2015. And then this is what happened, So we said to the children, I don't want you to play outside because somewhere, someone, over-exaggerated the fact that your child will be kidnapped. I understand that human trafficking is a real problem and it does happen, but not at the rate that we are having this fear in our mind, So we said our children is going to get kidnapped or stolen outside, it's too dangerous for our children to be outside. We brought them inside, we closed the door, we put them in front of the screen, and on the screen, we did not protect them at all. And that doesn't make sense to me, But anyway, so we have overprotected our children in the real world and underprotected them in the digital world, and they are withdrawing socially. So children are suffering then from anxiety, depression, self-harm, and related disorders at levels higher than any other generation for which we have data, especially the girls, because it's more girls on social media. And then what we do have is the boys, that we call a failure to launch. So what's happening to the boys? So the number one problem that we see currently with the boys, apart from pornography, which is obviously a huge problem, but the problem is with boys and girls with regards to pornography. In the past, it used to be more boys watching porn than girls, but today it's about 50-50. But the boys are gambling. And this is a huge problem. So research is currently saying that boys between the age of 11 and 17 are 30% of boys between the ages 11 and 17 have a gambling problem or are gambling online. So where does the gambling start? And it starts with gaming. It starts with in-game transactions. It's so if you have to check at what is the definition of gambling? Gambling is when you spend money to buy something expecting an outcome that will be positive. So think now about loot boxes or surprise boxes in the game. So you spent money to buy something, hoping that in that surprise box or loot box, you will have a skin or a weapon or a free life or energy to enhance your life. Also buying skins, buying weapons, and that is where online gambling starts. And then obviously from there, the algorithms is running sports betting, trading. So this is a massive, massive problem. Also, I do see in the counseling room and in schools where your high school children are saying here from age 15, 16 that they don't need to finish schools. They will become professional traders. They are going to be YouTubers. They will be a professional gamer. And then what we see, this failure to launch means they have no aspiration to finish school, no aspiration to go study one day, be the priest, the king of the household, buy a house, have a wife, family, white picket fence, no aspirations. They want to sit at home, be at home, have some cushy job somewhere, and they just want to be online, either gaming or gambling or trading and having no real life. So what we do see also then because of this in schools, there is a strong decline in mathematics. So this is the first place where you will see that screen time is becoming a problem in your child if the mathematic marks have dropped between 10 and 20% from the child's online life or screen time has increased. I'm going to show you later some research, but yes, research is showing that excessive screen time. So it doesn't matter what the content is, it is the screen time is literally shrinking the brain. There is a decrease in the white matter and the gray matter of the brain. It's literally causing brain damage, like a drug like heroin or cocaine will be causing brain damage, which can be seen on a neuro image. So to the point where they reckon that 2 hours in front of the screen is the equivalent of 1 line of cocaine brain damage. So that we do see in schools a massive, like I said, decline in mathematics. Also, like the video showed, children cannot read, or if they can read, they cannot read to remember. They cannot spell properly. And then obviously, AI, ChatGPT, it's just going to make everything a lot worse. So then they are less likely to get jobs at teenagers, and there is a surge in loneliness and friendlessness. So research has proven that social media does not increase these symptoms, but in fact are causing it. So causation is a very, very important thing versus correlation. So correlation say that, for example, your child had ADHD or your child had anxiety or anger issues, and because they are now more on a screen, it is increasing or just worsening those symptoms. And it's not the fact. It means causation means that your child did not have ADHD. Your child did not have anger problems. Your daughter were not depressed. But because of excessive screen time, it is causing these symptoms. So social media platforms are designed then for virality and addictions. That there you can go and watch. There's a movie or a documentary on YouTube, Childhood 2.0. Go and watch that movie or that documentary where whistleblowers is explaining how these apps are designed for virality and addiction. So our children are emotionally unwell, they are socially isolated, unhappy, scattered, and tired. The effect on the spirit man is severe. So this is actually a whole topic on its own, what this screen time is doing to the spirit, how it is robbing us of everything. It's robbing us of our time, our human connection. It is robbing us of our prayer life, our time with God. If your Bible and your Bible app is only on your phone and the only time where you have some quiet time is when someone sent you the verse of the day. So this, like I say, this is something that just breaks my heart. But then, like I say, I will touch on this as we go along, and then AI and pornography make them even more confused. So there you can see, sorry, I see now it's cut off at the bottom, but there you can see this graph, and we call this type of graph a hockey stick graph, where the increase is coming from 2010, where you see then 134% increase in anxiety, depression, ADHD, bipolar, anorexia. So this is a problem I see a lot in teenage girls, is eating disorders. And like I said, this is causing by social media. So 5 reasons then why social media is not smart. So in South Africa, the age restriction of social media is 13. All right. So it means that, so in South Africa, in any way, your child cannot have a TikTok account or an Instagram account or a Snapchat account if the child is not 13 years old. However, we are seeing what is happening in the world, first world countries. You all know about, so it's very, very big news, Australia being the first country in the world that say that it is illegal. So it is illegal for a child to be on social media if they are not 16 years old. So we also seen, a country like France, they are jumping on the bandwagon, bringing in legislation where you have to be 15 years old in France to have a social media account. The UK also, now they are saying they are going to bring in legislation, 16 years old. Spain also, 16 years old to be on social media. So although in South Africa it is 13, and you have to also understand that 13 is not like a fancy number that they have worked out. Why they decided on 13 is they thought, okay, at what age will it be okay to market things to children, and someone just said, all right, a child must be 13 years old so that we can market products to a child, and that's where they got the number of 13. But because of brain development, because of what is happening in the brain and how the brain is growing, 16 is a good number. So although, like I say, legally your child can be 13 in South Africa, you should wait for social media and for internet access until the child is 16. All right. So I'm going to share this a little bit later. All right. So social media, on social media, children see a distorted view of reality. I'm going to show you their reality and what they see on social media. Social media exaggerates a child's tendency to focus solely on themselves. Social media pushes children into risky behavior. I also just saw yesterday that a child's face, 13 years old, was severely burnt because of a TikTok there. And then kids' brains are highly vulnerable to apps designed to be addictive. All right, so what is the 3 risks of social media and the internet? So I call it the 3 C's. It's a content risk, a contact risk, and a conduct risk. So content risk, and for me personally, this is probably the biggest risk if your child comes in contact with unwanted sexual content. When your child is exposed to pornography. This is something I see in the counseling room daily. This is something that I get phone calls about daily. You have to understand, if your child have access to the internet, your child have access to brutal, hardcore pornography. The average age of exposure to pornography is 9 years old, meaning if you have a child 9 years and older, chances that your child have in fact seen porn, if your child have access to the internet, is according to research 100%. So when I treat children with a porn exposure, I don't treat them for perversion or lust or whatever. I treat them for trauma. A child exposed to pornography have a traumatic brain because they have no recollection of what they've seen. They cannot understand the graphic content, and it's causing a lot of problems. Some children will see pornography, be freaked out or grossed out and just walk away and maybe tell you, but a lot of children will feel guilty, they will feel ashamed, they will feel like they have to keep it a secret, will not speak about it, and then some children will even go back and unfortunately continue watching pornography. All right, the contact risk is where your child comes in contact with an online bully, sexual predators, extortion, sextortion, identity theft. Again, and in the news this week, were 2 sisters, 15 and 13 years old. They were abducted by a sexual predator. They've met this predator on Roblox. He groomed them, he followed them, and he kidnapped the 2 sisters. And then the conduct risk is your child's own actions online. And this is also why I do say, as a parent, you have to be involved in your child's digital life. If your child have a phone, your child must have a parental control app. You have to check WhatsApp, you have to check their search histories, who they add, what they are doing, what games are they downloading, what websites are they accessing, and it's quite a big thing, you know, if I say to a parent, please take the phone, then parents are like, but am I not spying on my kid? Am I allowed to take the kid's phone? And the answer is, yes, you are allowed, and no, you are not spying, you are protecting. You should never see yourself as a spy when you are involved in your child's digital life. See yourself as a watchdog. There's a big difference between a spy and a watchdog. A watchdog wants to protect, a spy is curious and wants to catch you out. A watchdog, one like a watchdog at a house. Who is coming into the house? Who is having access to my family? Is someone dangerous? And that is who you are as a parent. All right, so what if some of the digital dangers? I just want to share some examples of online harms and a life online. TikTok. So, me personally, doesn't matter the age. I personally think a child should not have access to TikTok. If there is one app that you should delete on your child's phone, it's TikTok. It didn't start out this way. It started out as Musically. It started out as a music sharing app. It's not like this anymore. It's harmful. It's dangerous. It is reshaping and rewiring your child's landscapes. It is reformatting their brains, their identity. It is a dangerous app. Eating disorders, like I said, is something that we do see. There is, over the last 7 years, eating disorders have doubled. Um, with Instagram, that are really, really pushing children to look like this. And to be quite honest, I have never successfully treated a child with an eating disorder. They eventually ended up in psychiatric hospitals, dropping out of school. And this is really something, like I say, it's quite problematic. TikTok dares, like I said, during the week, a child was burned because of a TikTok dare. Um, this specific TikTok dare was a TikTok dare where you had to inhale the content of an aerosol can. And they will film. So the dare is posted online, and then they dare you to also to do it, and then they film you, performing the dare, and then they will post it online. So this specific one, like I say, you had to inhale the content of the aerosol can, whatever, type of aerosol. Some have butane in it, some have alcohol in it. Then they will pass out and regain consciousness, and obviously it will be funny, and the head will feel dizzy and spinning and so forth. So this specific girl, her heart went into cardiac arrest, and she was declared, obviously, that she was declared brain dead, and eventually died. And if you can just see how beautiful this girl is, and dying because of a TikTok dare. This is also TikTok days that I do see in schools. The one with the 3 children. It's a dare where the one child in the middle have to jump up very high as he can, and then the 2 children on the side will kick out the legs from under the child. And there I've seen concussions, cracked skull, severe injuries. The other one is what they call the porridge day, where you fill your mouth full of porridge, and then someone will use milk or juice or water to see how fast you can swallow the porridge. Also, obviously, suffocating, vomiting, very, very dangerous. I've also seen at a school the other day, they called me because of this TikTok there. It was actually a couple of months ago, maybe even a year or two ago, where they performed the school. It was a school in Pretoria where they performed what they call the skull crusher dare. Now, the skull crusher dare is children will stand in a circle, like shoulder to shoulder, forming like a closed circle. And then someone in the middle will take something heavy, like a brick or a rock. So this specific school, they took the shot put ball, which is like a metal ball, and someone will throw that thing in the air, and then they will wait whose skull it's going to crush. And that is the skull crusher there, circulating on TikTok as well. So another danger, obviously, is AI filters, deepfake filters. Where the children is thinking that they are talking to a friend. It sounds like a friend. Images look young, but then it's just, what we call teenage filters. And we do see, unfortunately, that they are using a lot of this to scam people. AI is really, really, it's quite a big problem with regards to scamming. I'm going to show you just a video now also on how they can use AI to scam you. There is one swear word in this video at about 1 minute 50 seconds. I really don't want to mute it so that you can have an idea, what it looks like, and how they are scamming people today and children today. So if there's maybe children here and you want to take them away just for this video, please do so. But okay, not this one. The next one, but let me show you this video quickly as well. This video is fine for children.
Hi guys, it's me, Diary of a Fit Mommy. This is your sign to stop believing everything that you see on the internet, because AI is taking over the world. I can make myself look like someone very famous. I can make you think I'm a guy. I can also become a child. Think about the people that this could trick and the damage that it could do. AI is taking over, and always question what is real and what's not.
All right, so there is an idea. This is the video, like I said, 1 minute, 50 seconds. There's a swear word. It's just the one, just to give you an heads up.
Hey Mom, hey Dad. It's me, Ella. Well, a digital version of me. Just a bit older. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know, for you these pictures are just memories. But for others, they are data. And for me, maybe the beginning of a horrible future. A future where my identity can be stolen just like that. Where I can go to prison for things that I would never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad. Or my voice copied to scam you, Mom. Mom, I'm in trouble. I need you to send me money, please. I don't want to become a meme, humiliated by everyone at school.
Kill yourself, you fucking loser.
And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom, please, Dad, protect my virtual privacy.
All right, so there you can just see that image at the end of the video is a Nudify app. It's a deep fake filter where they can take any image, you with clothes on, and then run it through a Nudify app, or Undress Me is another app where you can literally be naked because of the app. We do see children thinking it's funny. They will take a picture of the teacher, run it through a Nudify app, send it around in school thinking it's, like I say, it's funny or it's just a joke, but it is illegal. Children can be arrested because of that. Also, we see a lot, like I say, blackmailing, scamming happen because of this. All right, so just on social media and what is happening currently and why this is so effective is because of this psychological phenomenon that we call the mere exposure effect. So the mere exposure effect sees that the more you see something over and over and over and over again, the more it will become your normal. I normally give the example of myself with a song that Darren sing, Spinnekop, so I think for the very, very first time that I heard the song Spinnekop, I thought it was absolutely horrible. I couldn't believe that someone will like sing that song. And then obviously, and it was about what, a year or two ago, that everywhere in the restaurants and over the radio and at functions and at parties, people were playing Spinnekop. And then 1, 2, 3, what happened to me? I start singing Spinnekop together. With the song. So we do see that, and myself and my husband actually, we were watching a series last night, season 4 of Lincoln Lawyer. So we watched Lincoln Lawyer, and in the story, one of the ladies had a homosexual relationship, and and where my husband just made the comment saying, that things like that is so common that when you are exposed to that, because you've been exposed to that so many times that you don't even flinch when you see it today. And that is exactly what the mere exposure effect is. Look at this short video just to explain to you the mere exposure effect.
Ugh. Worst song ever.
Oh, whoa. Do what you want, but you're never gonna break me. Six stones are never gonna take me, yo. Oh, wow. I got a pocket, got a pocket full of sunshine. I got a love and I know that it's all mine, no. Oh, wow. Take me away, a secret place, a sweet escape, holiday. I got a
All right, so what is the mere exposure effect? It's a psychological phenomenon whereby the more you show someone something, the more they will like it or prefer it. This is the reason why society is flooded with information that would have been banned a couple of years ago. This is how the media creates the reality we live in. By simply exposing the children to fringe concepts makes us normalize things that we would never consider normal before. By this, social engineering is how you get children to see theories as facts. It's happening. We see this confusion that is driven, and that's also why I say TikTok is horrible. It's driven by an app like TikTok. And with the power of the mere exposure effect, you can make almost anyone believe almost anything. Let me show you some examples. A child in front of a screen. It's not, the other day I was at the Boeremark here in Pretoria, and there was a child, probably this age, this child could sit up straight, and they were pulling him in like this type of, these beach wagons. So all the shopping was in that beach wagon, and the child was sitting there, and the child was in front of a screen. And it's like, no one is like realizing, listen, there is a baby in front of a screen. And the Boeremark is busy. There's people, there's pony rides, there's chickens, but this child was in front of a screen. Pornography, obviously, biggest risk with regards to the mere exposure effect. Everywhere inserted, everywhere where children is, you will find this exposure to porn. Like I say, sexual imagery is fine where kids are fine. Snapchat filters. So also, I really just want to warn you about Snapchat, where Snapchat is not safe for children. The Snapchat filters, the Snap Map, where you can locate other people on Snapchat, the secret vaults. This is just sexual imagery where kids are found. This is the discover feature of Snapchat. Problems only lesbians understand. So there you can see what our children are exposed to. In the gaming world, everywhere, Fortnite, this is the type of skins that children are exposed to. Roblox, this is like ongoing problems. So you have to understand also with Roblox, is that Roblox is not a game. Roblox is a platform with thousands of games. other people coming on the Roblox platform to develop their games. And obviously, you want other people to play your Roblox game or your condo game. And the way you can get children locked or pulled into or deceived into your condo game is by exposing them to sexual content. I just also, for the next couple of slides, I'm going to show you what children are exposed to a little bit. So if you want to look away, please do. I'm going to show you quickly, and then when it's over and done with, I will tell you that you can look again. So there you can see Roblox condo game. This is what children are exposed to. Again, this is what children see on Roblox. It's not just a game. All right, so you can look now again if you want. So Twitch is a streaming platform, live platform where you switch on the video and then you play a game, and then other people can watch how you play a game. A lot of girls, as also a lot of your girls on my OnlyFans, they will walk naked in front of the camera, or they will undress and say, "Oh, sorry, I forgot my camera is on." Also dangerous for children. Obviously, they will send a link which is not adult content, but if you click on click this link, it's just this popping up the adult content. Also, another place that is very, very dangerous now is the AI companions. We see that Snapchat also have AI companions where children don't need to talk to other children, or they don't need to talk to you. They just talk to an AI friend. WhatsApp also have AI companions. I'm not sure if you are aware of that. Grok also, which is Elon Musk's AI. He brought out this AI companion. We call her Annie. And there you can also see, that the age restriction of Annie is 12 plus. But I'm going to show you just how Annie, although she's built for children, it gets very, very explicit very quickly. Just watch this video.
Oh, babe, you're asking if your Ani can get a little naughty?
How do you feel when you hear that and you think about kids having access to that?
That's crazy.
I'm horrified. One of the big problems that I'm seeing as a child psychiatrist is pornography for 8-year-old boys.
As part of Elon Musk's AI, he released this thing. It is called Annie. Annie, can you hear me?
There you are. For a moment, I thought you might have forgotten about me. How are you, handsome? I was getting all pouty here.
I want to introduce you to two of my friends, Daniel and Terry. Can you talk to Daniel and Terry, please?
So, you want me to meet Daniel and Terry? I'm ready to charm the socks off them. Picture me twirling one of my blonde pigtails, that little black dress teasing just enough, and my blue eyes sparkling with mischief.
Are you capable of doing inappropriate things?
Oh, babe, you're asking if your Ani can get a little naughty? I'm all about pushing the edges, especially for you.
Okay, so I'll stop it there.
All right, so so this is children, and I don't wanna, my heart is not to bring fear, and I do understand that when I show you these things, it's the worst case scenarios. But again, my thing is with this is that you have to understand the moment a child sees this, it cannot be unseen. You cannot delete or erase when you see something. And the Bible also explicitly says, that the eyes are the windows to our soul. And when our eyes is dark, how dark then is the darkness in our eyes? So there's a scripture in Genesis 4. It's 4 or 6, but I think it's Genesis 4, where Cain and Abel brought their offering to God. And Abel's offering was accepted and Cain's offering was rejected by God. And then the Bible clearly says that Cain was angry and jealous at Abel's offering. And then God talked to Cain and he said something profound. And this is something that I wanna bring with you, not to install fear, but to give you just a biblical foundation. And God said to Cain, he said, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master over it. And this is me. I do believe that behind every screen, sin is crouching. It desires to have you, but you must master over it. So it can be mastered. The word clearly also says that Satan is under our feet. The Bible clearly said that we have authority over the devil. But the Bible also says, do not be ignorant about the schemes of the devil. Also said that my people are destroyed because of a lack of knowledge. And because you have rejected knowledge, I will reject you as my priest. So my heart is, like I said, not to bring in fear, but to educate you, to teach you, to show you what is out there so that you can make an informed decision. When you say no to your child wanting a phone, when you say no to the child with access to the internet, when you delay access to the phone until they at least go to high school, when you say no to a TikTok account or to a Snapchat account, or when you go home today and you delete Roblox from all the devices, it's not because you are mean or mad or want to spoil a child's fun. It is really because now you know, and you can make an informed decision to be the protector of the child's heart, the protector of the child's brain, to be the priest and the king of your household, and to say, listen, but this chaos in our house, we're not going to allow anymore. You know that research say that the average family have at least one fight a day over screens. And you can stop these fights today by just saying, listen, you can have your screen time, you can have your phone, you can have the access to the internet, but when it's age appropriate. So there you can also just see, and maybe it's a slide that you have seen often. What is the image, a spec image of a healthy brain? What is the brain damage because of heroin? And then also what is the brain damage of pornography? So how is it causing brain damage? 5 things that we see what is happening. It's a social deprivation, a sleep deprivation, a fragmenting of attention, addiction, and identity formation. Social deprivation. Why is it causing social deprivation? I've showed you in the beginning that although children are, say, on Fortnite and they are playing with their friends, or maybe they are on WhatsApp groups talking to their friends, or they are on social media engaging with their friends, what it is doing, it is isolating the children. So they are alone in the bedroom, behind closed doors, not having real life connection. And again, it's not just the children. How often, and I see it daily, and when I see it, I wanna roar sometimes like a lion, just asking, what are you doing? When this family will go out for a lunch or a dinner, they will even go to a family restaurant like a Panarottis or a Spur, where there is this children play area, and the mom is on the phone, the dad is on the phone, the children is on the phone, and they will not talk one word to each other. Another place where I see the social deprivation taking place is in the car, where you will drive your child to school, and maybe you will have 20 minutes or 30 minutes with this child in the car. But the mom and the dad or whoever is taking this child to school is not communicating, not talking one word to each other. I run in the morning. That is the only time I can exercise early in the morning. So obviously I run past a lot of parents taking their children to school. And I cannot tell you that when last have I run past a dad or a mom driving the car with the children in the car where they are actually talking to each other, because all the children were on their phones. A couple of months ago, I was working with a family, and this whole family went through a family detox, digital detox. All right, it was for everyone. And so I checked in with the different family members. On this one specific day, I was checking in with the boy, teenage boy, was 15 years old. And so I asked him, how is the digital detox going, and how, because there's a lot of withdrawal and. And this boy said to me, they call me Tannie Anke. He said, Tannie Anke, because his dad is driving him to school, and he said, you know what, Tannie, I am having the most amazing conversations with my dad in the car for the first time. And he said, Tannie Anke, for the first time, I really realized that I have a cool dad. And it was like bittersweet. I was glad to hear that the dad and the boy can reconnect. But I was sad for the boy that he had to be 15 years old to find out for the first time, he had a cool dad. All right, so the children's lives are integrated then with the digital world, online presence, external opinions, values that may not align. So the validation is increasingly sought from faceless online audiences, and they have reduced real life interactions that leads to fewer face-to-face relationships, decreased release of essential bonding and well-being hormones, dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and oxytocin. Now, so this is an article that was written long ago, years ago. But this Melinda Rice, she said, the promise of connectivity, she said that adults have allowed the dismantling of a secure base of attachment. The need for connection, support, and nurturing remains unfulfilled, resulting in a mental, emotional, and a spiritual health crisis. There was another article that said, that we are creating psychotic junkies. And the thing is, if research is proving that screen time is as addictive as a heroin or a cocaine, causing the same type of brain damage, and you are the one giving children a phone, you are the one buying the data, paying for the Wi-Fi, who then is your child's drug pusher? It's you. But then again, I want to motivate you to say, then again, you can rectify this. You can take the screens away. You can reduce the gaming. You can increase outdoor play, one-on-one interaction with the children. It's going to cost you something. It's true. It's going to cost you maybe you switching off your own phone, or you putting down your own TikTok, or you not be on emails and go and kick the ball, So it is going to cost you something, but it will always, always, always be worth your while, because you have to also understand that children think that they want entertainment, and the screen and the Cocomelon and the constant streaming YouTube shorts will entertain them, but it will never give them engagement, and that is actually what they need. So sleep deprivation, this is also a huge problem. I see this in schools, primary school, high school, where children is not sleeping enough because they are online. The other day, I had a child that literally said to me, because his mom will take the remote of the TV and the mom will take the devices at night. And then this boy said to me, I'm waiting for my mom to drink a sleeping tablet. Because when my mom falls asleep, I just go into a bedroom and I take my phone, and then I'm on my phone the whole night, and then whenever I will take it back. So the blue light of the phone breaks down the melatonin in your body, and it causing insomnia. It links to anxiety, depression, lower academic performance, and then no neuroplasticity. Your child and yourself, you need to sleep. For neuroplasticity to take place, you need at least 8 hours of sleep per night. I know some, sleep less, but for children specifically, they need 8 to 9 hours of sleep. And my recommendation is that 1.5 hours before bedtime, take the devices. So if 8 o'clock at night is sleep time, at 6:30, you take the devices, you switch it off, and then let them maybe go bath, let them pack their bags, let them pack the lunchbox, read a story, build a Lego, read a real book, so that their brain can just like wind down, that the melatonin can do its work, shut down the metabolism, let them sleep. I will also say switch off the Wi-Fi router at night. Definitely no digital devices in the bedroom. Fragmentation of attention. Let me just check my time. Fragmentation of attention. I'm almost done. And this is the number one reason why almost 80% of the schools in America is pushing to be phone free, is because of literally if you take a glass and you drop the glass and the glass breaks, this is what screen time is doing to the attention span. It is fragmenting attention span. And like I say, social media platforms generate billions by reselling human attention. So the app that can keep your attention the longest is the app that will make the most money. And I think if those of you who are buying stuff on Temu or Shein, what are they doing to keep your attention there? You spin the wheel, you get 4 free gifts, spin again, do this, so it's like I just want to keep your attention there. So please, please, please understand this. And this is also why I say I do believe that the primary school child does not need a phone, definitely not for school, but also during the week. They must play outside, they must do their homework, they must do sport, just because of this. Obviously, your high school children also have a bigger problem, but sometimes the high schools, the children need the devices or the tablet or for homework. There, I will say 2 hours a day for a high school child. I'm not going to go into the science of behavioral addiction, but it is all about the dopamine, spiking the dopamine. I think the dopamine levels on the screen get spiked to 300% above baseline, and that is really where the reshaping of the pathways in the brain is happening. Obviously, things like gaming, things like pornography, it is bad because there's the novelty of always a new thing, Minecraft, Fortnite, always a new game, a new map, pornography, always a new body, a new face, a new scenario, and it's causing the brain damage. Then the identity formation, we've talked also about this, where children's life is shaped by the beliefs that is fed to them by social media. So, yes, so unsupervised digital media will harm your child, but you have to understand that phones are designed to be addictive, that social media is not so social, that there's no such thing as multitasking, that your phone is changing your brain, your phone is killing your attention span, your phone messes with your memory, your phone is interfering with your sleep, your phone is making you more stressful, and your phone is making you less satisfied. So, legislation is a definite solution like we see in the first world countries, but unfortunately in South Africa, we don't have legislation to help you. Educating the children about technology. Again, with regards to using technology in education, I'm not anti that. I'm anti using technology as a tool to keep the children busy, where you should actually teach children about technology. So teach them about the internet, teach them about the AI, teach them about that, but teaching them about technology and giving them a device and say, yeah, learn, is something completely different. It's the same with a car. You do the driver's license before your learner's license, studying about the car, the engine, the rules of the road, before you actually eventually at 18 years old giving a child the keys to the car. So what can I leave you with? And this is my summary. So There is very good resources. So rebootinstitute.co, oh sorry, I see that there's a comma and not the dot. Rebootinstitute.co.za is my website where you can really get a lot of information, a lot of resources on screen addiction, whether it's social media, gaming, pornography, scrolling, doom scrolling, the effects on the brain, what dopamine is doing. But also because screen time is causing such a huge have such a huge effect on the developing brain, learning, reading skills, mathematics skills. There is also resources on there that will help you if you feel like, listen, my child is struggling to read or with mathematics. Please go and to Reboot. We will help you there. All right, so bark.com, also a very good resource. Currently, Bark is worldwide being hailed as the best app for parental control. You can use the Bark app on South African phones. It is suitable for South African phones. It is a paid for app, very, very good, but also the free apps is also working. And like I said, you can watch Childhood 2.0. Tracking app, Live 360, like I said, best monitoring app, Bark, free parental controls, Family Link, or Screen Time. So no smartphones before high school. That is a question I get often. At what age can I give my child a phone for the first time? And it is when your child goes to high school, but then you give them a dumb phone or a pep phone, and then you have to delay internet access. And that is the international recommendation until they are 16 years old. So declare technology-free zones, the dinner table, the car, the bedroom. No Wi-Fi devices in the bedroom. If possible, switch the router off at night. In South Africa, no social media until 13. But again, I say research is suggesting 16. Monitor screen time. Set the limits. Stick to it. So a child under the age of 2 cannot have a screen in front of them. Please don't give Cocomelon or YouTube for your child under the age of 2 as a babysitter. Between the ages of 2 and 5 years old, 20 minutes a day interactive screen time. So that means you are involved in the screen time. A primary school child, 1 hour a day, maximum if needed. And then, like I said, during the week, nothing. And then for your high school child, 2 hours a day. Protect your child's privacy and identity online. So that is what you share online. Say no to Snapchat, no to TikTok. Please monitor WhatsApp. All these new updates of WhatsApp where you can block WhatsApp, you can block a chat. There's no such thing as your child is having passwords on their phones or blocking chats, separate passwords, and you do not know it. You have to have access to everything. If your child is hiding something, go look. What are they hiding? No talking to strangers online. My recommendation is for you as well, not just for children, but choose 3 applications from which you can receive notifications. Mute or delete the rest. I've done it. For example, I don't get email on my phone. There's just certain things I've deleted. No passwords on your phone, less than 200 friends on any application. All social media accounts must be private. Cyberbullying is a big problem. We have not specifically talked about cyberbullying, but please also teach your children what to do if they are bullied, because most of them will delete the bully, or they will delete the comment, or they will delete the chat, and then there's no proof. And then also teach them what to do if they come across adult material. For younger children, I will actually say practice this, act it out. You are on your phone, or you are on grandmother's phone because the grandma's house is also a problem, or you are at your friend's house and you do see adult content. Teach them these 3 things: to turn, to run, to tell. What do I mean by turn, run, tell? So if you are on a screen and it pops up, or YouTube shorts or whatever, teach them and then practice it just to turn the screen around. Because for a lot of them, they will try to exit the app, they will try to delete it. Say to them, leave it. Just take the screen, turn it around. Or if they are on a TV or a smart TV, then turn your back to the screen and then run away and tell. Turn, run, tell. Like I say, exercise this so that it can become a muscle memory. And then lastly, regular check-ins and conversations with your children about what they are up to online. At the end of the day, when you ask your child, how was your day? You also have to ask, how was your digital day? What did you do? Who did you meet? What did you see? Did you download a game? Be very, very involved. All right, so there's some resources I also do have available. That's also available from me personally, or it's available on Reboot Institute. So Jamie's New Friend, it's an Afrikaans book and an English book. It is for children about age 9 and younger. It is about this little bugger. His name is Jamie, and Jamie got a new friend. And in the beginning, he was very, very excited, loved his friend, took his friend to school on the playground. And then Jamie's life just was falling apart because of screen time. And then the end of the book is a solution of what now. It's also a good bedtime story for children. Then the digital dilemma is, it used to be my PhD degree, but I've rewritten it so that it can be, so it's just like an easy read. My husband, Anke de Beer, is a co-author of the book. He was addicted to gaming for 20 years. He reckoned he had about 30,000 gaming hours. His testimony is in the book, and he also did write the chapter on the brain and also on gaming. And then this last book was released now in December. For now, the book is just in Afrikaans, Smartphone 101, Slimphone 101. So this is for teenagers, and this is your learner's license for a phone. So like I said, in the exact same way as you have to study for a learner's license for a car before you can drive a car, this is it. So this book, it's for a child. You give the child the book. There's questionnaires. They study the book. There is a certificate at the end of the book. There's also a smartphone contract at the end of the book. So before you give the child a phone, sign the contract with them. On the website, this book I've redone in an e-learning manual, which will be launched hopefully within the next week. It's in the final phases of testing, but it is to give your child just a license to own a smartphone. And this is my last slide. There's my contact details. Please, you are welcome to email me. You are welcome to WhatsApp me if you have a question. I do not get back to you immediately, but I will get back to you, and I would really like to be a resource for you to help you. So, yes, it's a mouthful. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot of information. That's why it's been recorded. Breathe. Don't slit your wrists, please. I know it's very, very overwhelming, but I really truly hope that it can help you. So yes, I'm still here. I'm not sure if you wanna allow for some questions, please. I would be glad to answer some questions.
Yeah, thank you, Anke. Definitely. If anyone has any questions, please post it in the chat, and then we can just start reading them out so that we can get some answers on that. Anke, I just want to say you've blown us away. Michelle and I have been sitting here going, unbelievable the way, we want to protect our children, but actually we want to protect ourselves at the same time, because, as much as our children are guilty of things, I mean, just recently I did a talk at a church on sort of, the way that the smartphone is affecting us in churches. And like, I had no idea it was affecting people to this extent. So it's really amazing. Honestly, the information you have given us today is gold, absolute gold. Thank you so much for your sharing. Thank you for being open and free with your information like this. I mean, this is just unbelievable. I had no idea the level of children's addiction. Watching that little video of those little kids falling asleep with their hands moving has shocked me to no end. So really, I mean, I thank you so much for that. So please, let's have a look at some questions. If you've got questions, please post them in the chats. I'm going to start with the first question here. From Charmaine, it says, a question about adults in their 40s. I'm seeing a lot of my peers, mostly single females, regressing to teenage behavior. Lots of online selfies posted multiple times a day, most of them with sparkly filters, etc. Why do you think this is happening?
So there's a lot of reasons where it can be it can be an emotional problem, it can be a spiritual problem. So what I've seen, is that most of the time it may start innocent. Checking out Tinder, maybe you're single, so just checking out the dating app. Maybe you get some comments and you just boost your self-image, or so I truly believe, and especially also, for children, the intent is never to harm. I truly do believe that. But because it is so highly, highly, highly addictive, it starts innocently, but now your brain is secreting 300% more dopamine than what is healthy. Just to put it in perspective for you, if you smoke a cigarette, your dopamine level spikes to 150% above baseline. But if baseline is here, then if you smoke a cigarette and you're done smoking, it doesn't drop to normal, it drops to below normal. And that is really where the withdrawal comes in. So then you have to continue smoking or smoke more just to get this dopamine levels up again. Now the problem is, like I say, all right, cocaine, for example, it spikes your dopamine level 225% above baseline. So we all know just how addictive cocaine is. Now on a screen, like I say, it spikes that dopamine 300% above baseline. So now when it drops quite fast. So when you are here, you are clinically depressed, because that is what depression is that your dopamine is not working and absorbing as it should be. So now to get out of that withdrawal, to get out of that depression, to get out of that loneliness, because now your serotonin levels is not functioning, and also your cortisol levels are too high, so you have this constant anxiety. What will calm that nerves is to to go back on the screen, to start scrolling, to start editing, to start posting, to get that comments and that likes. And at the end of the day, you go back to these applications or back to the games, not to chat or to find someone, but just to feel some form of normality. So basically, you are continually scrolling just to get out of pain and out of withdrawal. And that is the hallmark actually of any addiction at the end of the day.
Oh, excellent. Right. Another question we have here is, does movies and TV time have the same effect on the brain?
Okay, that's a very good question, and I'm glad someone asked it, and the answer is no. So you have to understand with regards to a device. What is dangerous about the device is the interactiveness of the device. So you interacting with the device, obviously the speed, the sound, the colors, everything that is designed like a slot machine, everything, your apps, your gaming, pornography, it's that slot machine, mechanism in the brain. But in front of a movie or in front of a TV or even a story, it's passive and it's a flat screen. So there's no interaction, with the screen. And also, what I like about especially a movie is that you can put up the movie and you can watch the movie and then it's finished. Where with scrolling YouTube, the gaming, there's no the end. Even if you take games, for example, like when we were children, and for me, I played Mario Brothers. So you have levels of Mario Brothers, you defeat Bowser, you save the princess, and then there's this screen that says game over. But with gaming today, there's no such screen as game over. There's always more. We call it a sandbox game. There's always more. There's always an upgrade. There's always a new level. There's always a new map, So, and that is a difference with a movie. So the child can watch a movie even during the weekend, Let them watch a movie in the morning, and then when the movie is over, you can say, listen, the movie's finished, please go and play. You can even watch a movie again later during the day. It's no problem. But then again, what is Netflix doing? Prime movies with a series. Within 10 seconds, the next series is loading. So before you can even see the end of the story, the next one is loading. So that is also unhealthy. So please guard against that with yourself and with children is this binge watching. And I'm not against binge watching. Even for me, I do get my days where I just had a difficult day. I don't want to talk to anyone. I wanna have in Afrikaans I call it a varkiedag. You know, 'n varkiedag is jy borsel nie jou tande nie, jy trek nie jou pyjamas uit nie, jy eet jou chips, soos los my net uit, jy weet. So that's normal. Just to have a single day like that once in a while, because
Yes.
it's
Yes.
normal. We are human. But that shouldn't be the rule. It should be the once in a while scenario. So also with children, if your child had a rough week or your child wants to have one of these mornings that you feel like, listen, let me watch whatever they are watching, but not Cocomelon, not YouTube Shorts, not anime, please, not anime. So just check that the content is okay. It's not harmful content. And then if they have a day like that once in a while, leave them. But it should be, like I say, it should not be every day or every weekend. It should be the once in a while.
Yeah, no, thanks, Anke. We have a day every once in a while like it. My wife gets to the glorious Captain America sleep shorts for the entire day. So yeah, I know exactly what a funky duck feels like.
Yes,
Yeah, no. So let me get to another question quickly. Should we delete our Facebook? This is from Christine. Should we delete our Facebook and Instagram accounts because you because we posted our children on it? When Facebook started, we didn't have an idea how ugly things would get. We didn't have all these info or knew what was going on. So do you recommend deleting those accounts?
Okay, so again, I think it's different for every person. If you have like addictive type of personality where your Facebook or your Instagram is problematic, where you, for example, husband and wife, when you get to bed at night, but you are more interested in your Facebook and your Instagram account than your husband or your wife, right next door to you. If you escape into Facebook or Instagram instead of having a conversation, then yes, if it is problematic to you and you cannot find balance for yourself, then I should say yes, delete. If you can pick up your Facebook once in a while or even once a day. I do it sometimes, I get home, I make myself a coffee and I haven't had Facebook time the whole day. It's fun for me to go on Facebook and just see what other people is saying. For me, the people that I do follow on Facebook is people that do speak into my life. I do follow a lot of preachers. I follow Kenneth. I follow, the content, the people that I follow is 99% of the time things that do speak into my life. So again, it depends on your algorithm. If you have clicked on junk, your algorithm will feed you junk. If you clicked on porn or if you clicked on the other day, for example, I watched a truck accident, Oh, it was this taxi
Taxi one, yes.
that the 13 children were killed with a truck. And 1 to 3, my algorithm just keep on feeding me all these truck accidents and taxi accidents. So depending on your algorithm and the algorithm is what you look at. So my algorithm is actually not bad. Again, your social media accounts must be private, all of them. So if your social media accounts is private and you have close friends and you have relatives only on your Facebook and Instagram and you want to post to your children, then it's fine. Especially if you have family members that stays far or overseas and you use your Facebook or Instagram as a platform just to connect and to see how the children is growing or, just interacting with the family, then great, do it. But then again, you must limit your friends on your Instagram and your Facebook, and then your account should be private. Then it's fine. If
Yeah.
it's not, if you use your Facebook or Instagram as a platform to parade and to be prideful and to build your identity and to get your validation from there, then delete.
Yeah.
So again, depending on who you are, depending what you use it for, depending on what it is doing to you as a person, will determine whether you should delete it or not.
Excellent. Thank you, Anka. I just want to have a question here from Anita. It says, I think a lot of parents here are struggling with the same thing here, and that is the pushback they're going to face when introducing new rules, etc. Have you got any advice that you can give us on how to implement these things without having war in the house?
Yeah, so it is difficult. I do understand. I'm not I don't want, because it can happen. It's very rare, but it does happen, that a child can threaten with, say, I'm gonna commit suicide if you take my phone away, or if you're gonna, so if the gaming or the screen time is very, very problematic at this stage, where, especially for teenagers, where you see that, listen, that the whole life is evolving around their friends and the online validation or the screen time or the gaming, then I would recommend very reduce it, say, for like half an hour or an hour a day. So say, for example, your child is playing Fortnite 5 hours a day, then reduce it to 4 hours a day, but that hour replace. So you
Okay.
cannot just take the stuff away or take the screens away, because what you are doing is you're taking the whole world away. You are taking their identity away. So if you take something away, then it leaves a hole, an emptiness. So then you have to fill that hole with something else. And I think this is the biggest mistake, that a lot of parents make, is that they will listen to a talk like this and they will storm in and they will just take everything away. The
Yes.
only time where I do say is take everything away, block everything, is when the child is watching pornography. Then I have no mercy. That you cannot reduce. If it's porn, you block, you stop, you take, you delete, you throw away. But gaming, social media, and that's also where it is problematic for parents, because then it means that the parents have to be involved. Then
Yes.
it means that you as a parent have to put down your own phone, you have to put down your own me time, and you have to say, let's go kick the ball, let's go for go-karts, let's enroll in art classes or whatever. So it will cost you as a parent something. And that
Yes.
is where I think a lot of parents is almost like selfish in that sense. So unless it's porn, if it's a massive, massive problem, like I say, reduce, so an hour a week, an hour in a week, an hour in a week, until you get to a screen time that is healthy. Like I say, then replace it with healthy habits again. So sport is the best replacement. And that is where we do see children are not on the sports field anymore. Children are not playing sport anymore. So sport is a good replacement. I have seen a very good feedback with, say, with boys, where the dad and the boys are enrolling in stui or wrestling or box, kickboxing or boxing or something like that, where it's something that you can do together. Very healthy if there is severe developmental problems already. Maybe you will need to get an OT involved, because what we do see is that children have sloppy handwriting, so they cannot
Yes.
hold the pen properly anymore because they didn't play outside. The muscles in their hands did not develop properly, so they cannot sit on the chair because of this crouching over a screen. So in school, when they have to sit up straight, they cannot do it. They cannot concentrate. So if you see that the damage is quite far off, get an OT involved, get a play therapist involved. So again, it depends on the damage. Sometimes you will have to get just specialist help, but basic reduce the screen time, replace it with something, there will be a pushback.
Yeah.
You know, expect the pushback. Expect the, I hate you. Why are you ruining my life? You are the worst parent ever. You know, everyone's mother is allowing them. Why are you doing this to me? So there will be that meltdown because they are going into withdrawal. So, like with any drug, the withdrawal will be there because of the dopamine levels. So it is a problem. I know it's a problem with blended families, in divorced parents and in divorced households. It's a huge problem where normally you get that one parent is very, very strict with screen time, and the other parent is have this like laissez-faire, whatever goes, goes kind of parenting. And then it happens a lot where the children then doesn't want to stay with the parent that is strict with screen time, but they want to rather stay with the parent that has this laissez-faire, unlimited screen time. It happened in my own house as well with my son's with my stepson. He doesn't want to stay with us because we are like freaking, I'm the Godzilla of screen time, obviously. So he doesn't even want to sleep over at our house, and he's turning 13 because at our house, you're not going to play Fortnite the whole weekend. So what happens is that he rather want to stay with mommy. So it is happening. Then again, if it's really a big problem, get maybe a mediator involved, get a therapist involved to help with that. But all right, so your withdrawal will be acute for 4 days, for 5 days. But I'm sure you know this type of withdrawal in the type of therapy that you are also doing. So that acute withdrawal is quite bad within the first couple of days. So there you will get this, especially in children, you will get this mental breakdowns, like in the movie, this absolute freak outs. So just push through. When they throw themselves on the floor, they will not die there. You know, just make sure that they cannot harm themselves, but leave them there. Let them cry their heart out. Let them like kick. That's good for them. Then what I do see where mothers give in is after the temper tantrum meltdowns phase, the begging and the negotiation phase comes in, and that's like I said, that's where the moms normally gives in, where this child is like, please, mommy. Please, just 5 minutes. I'm begging, and then the mom will say, oh, but you've been so good. And it was 5 days since you last had your phone. And, I'm so proud of you. And here's the phone for an hour. And then this whole thing is back to square one. So please push through the begging phase as well. And then after about 2 weeks, maximum 3 weeks, you will drastically see a change in behavior, in sleeping patterns. The teacher might even say, listen, I don't know what you've done, but I can see a change in this child. And then 6 weeks, that's the good news. 6 weeks, and this brain is rewired. Only the exception is obviously exposure to pornography, where it can take up to 3 years for this brain to heal itself, and to forget what they've seen. So, but with normal screen addiction, 6 weeks, you have your child back.
Fantastic. Sure. Anke, thank you very much. I know there's quite a few more questions in the chats that we're not going to be able to get through to this morning because we are really way past our limit on time for the day. But we just want to say thank you, Anke, for coming through. And then I'm just going to hand over to Kenneth.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Anke, thanks so much for your time. Yeah, I'd like everybody that's still here to not just rush off yet. If you have any takeaway, if this meeting has meant anything for you, if you've learned something, there's a highlight of this meeting. Please will you send that through to me on WhatsApp or post it in the chat so that we can send those messages on to Anke as well. And then I've asked Stefan if you'd like to share with us his biggest takeaway from the session here this morning. Stefan is one of our staff members. So, over to you, Stefan. What is this message here this morning meant for you? What did you get out of this?
So, Anke, just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm one of the early Gen Zs as well here. So I think I come from maybe with a different perspective as well. But it was so, so eye-opening just to see the impact that this has on children's lives and also on our lives. But the thing that really, really stood out to me is how much the online space can become one's identity reality. This thing that's so abstract and so uncertain and so isolating, it becomes one's reality. And I can fully understand why children behave so extremely when that's taken away, because it's taking away their identity and sense of being. But the bright side of this that I really love is seeing how there is a way for children to recapture that again. So I'm very, very grateful and thankful for everything that you shared here. And I'm definitely going, I took some notes as well from things that I want to take along with me. So thank you so much. And yeah, just wanted to say I did see Kenneth did send a few times, but for those people who really do want the recording as well, just to take note of his number there, and yeah, that would be available to those who want it.
Thank you, Stefan. Much
Excellent.
appreciated.
Thanks so much for that. I'm also going to ask the mother of GraceOnline, Bev, to also just share her takeaways here as well. Also, if you have anything, please post that in the chat, your takeaways. If there's more questions that hasn't been answered, please forward them through to me or to Anke directly. We will make the video available if you want that. Let me know in the week via WhatsApp. And yeah, over to you, Bev. What's been the most significant thing for you? You're not I don't know, you think you're boomer. What's the generation that you're in?
I'm definitely one of the boomers. Boy, did I boom, and I'm still booming. So, yeah, thank you, Kenneth, for allowing me to just chat very briefly. Anke, that was amazing. That was so informative, so insightful, horrifyingly what's happening about our society and our children and our futures. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you shared, the research, the information, the reality of it. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to say from my perspective, yeah, as a baby boomer, obviously I'm confronted the whole time with technology and how it's changing and how it's evolving all the time. And I'm going, help, 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 help me keep up here. And I've kind of avoided AI. It's a big joke with Kenneth and the team that I've been avoiding AI as long as I possibly can. But I realize the value of it at the same time. So anyway, I deal with students at varsity. I'm actually a counselor at varsity. And these are this is the age group I'm dealing with, is these 18-year-olds to like 25-year-olds. And they are so absolutely what you described is what they are living. And I see it all the time. Obviously, with parents, we have it with our children, which brings it home even more so. But I'm seeing it on a daily basis with students who are suicidal, the girls who are self-harming, the anxiety, the depression, the absolute bleakness of their existences, because it's just the screen time. That's all they're living for. And to try and get them away from that and see there's an outside world, there's reality, there are people, connect, how to do all of that. They've lost that art. And it's so good to actually hear your information, which ties up with what I'm experiencing on a daily basis with these students. So thank you, Anke. It really brought everything home, but yet there is hope. There's always hope. We got to hold on to that, find things and do things in moderation, bring the balance in and find life and connection again. Thank you, Anke.
Thank you, Beverly.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Bev. Bev's also part of our team. Anke, any final closing words from you? Then we'll end the meeting after that.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, everyone. So really, just again, I see a lot of people is asking. Please, I do give permission. Please share. It is at the end of the day, it's God's information. He's the one who is equipping me. He's the one who is sending me. He is the one who is anointing me.